My mom's foot
Okay.
got chopped off. The Sinaloa cartel has been threatening my family. These different organizations, the motorcycle gang, the Mongols.
Next individual before the court on first appearance docket is Jacob Allen Lamukul, and there's no case assigned as of this time. No case filed. And announcements to the court, Mr. Regier.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's understanding is this case has been very recently brought to my colleague's attention. Therefore, the state is requesting that this matter be over to the Friday first appearance setting.
And the court does order this matter set over to Friday, December 13, 2024 at 1:30, Friday, December 13, 2024 at 1:30. And court makes inquiry in regards and recommendation requested from the state as to appropriate bond.
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, if the court is prepared to take up the issue of bond at this time, based off of a very cursory review of the affidavit in this matter, the state is recommending a bond in the amount of $10,000. I will, of course, defer to the court as to whether or not that should be cash, surety, OR, but the state does acknowledge this is a somewhat unusual situation.
Thank you, Mr. Regier. And Mr. Lamkul,
Yes, sir.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
It's Lemcool, but yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Mr. Lemkul. I need to find out a little bit of information from you in order to set appropriate bond. What is your current address?
I was living in a car and staying with my mom. It's
South MacArthur. Is that in a trailer park?
yes, sir. It's a lot.
Okay. And what's your mother's name? And would you consider yourself homeless? Is that the standard?
Yeah. I mean, I was in the process of getting my check for $3,200. I was going to get my own place. I was actually headed down to the FBI in Topeka to talk to them. I got a whole lot going on, Your Honor. I've been building the case for the past 8 years. It's got to do with a whole bunch of stuff I really don't want to break down right now. It'd take me forever, but I had a whole bunch of evidence in that car with me pertaining to this case that I had saved up from deceptive staff, people that are doing human sex trafficking and rapists, and just children were involved as well. And it really would hurt me if I lost all that documentation and paperwork that was there. So I was wondering if there's any way possible if you guys could get that stuff saved for me, the backpack full of paperwork in there and the other stuff that I had in that vehicle. My mom's foot got chopped off. The Sinaloa cartel has been threatening my family. These different organizations, the motorcycle gang, the Mongols. I've been raped. I've been sexually assaulted by a staff member in one of the facilities. And as well, I got a CBI, computer brain interface, and nanotechnology implants in my body to where I'm being targeted. I'm a targeted individual. I know it sounds crazy and outrageous for someone to say something like that, but it's real and true. I'm sound and sane to mind. I'm just really going through a horrible time now. I'm not going to be able to make that bond money. I had a very little money on my property when I got arrested. They didn't give me none of my property out of the vehicle at all. I'd requested to talk to a detective because I was on my way to Topeka to talk to the FBI before I pulled the vehicle over, because I was terrified that these people weren't really police officers and that they were going to kidnap me and do whatever, they were possibly kill me, because I was on my way with this evidence to Topeka. So I put my hands out and I said, "Sir, can you assure me that you'll let me talk to a detective if I pull over? Because I don't want to hurt myself and I don't want to hurt nobody else driving this vehicle like this. So can we just pull over on the median and you get me a detective to talk to, and possibly the media or something like that, the newscast people?" And he told me that it would. So I pulled over, and then he never brought a detective to me.
Mr. Lemkul, let me interrupt you for just a moment. Do you have a contact person with the FBI in the Topeka office?
I was just going to drive down there.
No, do you have the name for someone in the Topeka office?
I don't.
Okay. Well, at this point in time, based on your status of being homeless, the court does find that there is a high risk that you may not reappear before the court. So the court does find that an appropriate bond herein would be in the amount of $10,000 cash or surety, $10,000 cash or surety bond. If you had the name of an individual in the KBI, or not the KBI office, the FBI office in Topeka, I would instruct the jail to let you make a telephone call and contact with that individual. But where you haven't established a contact person, we'll just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and order $10,000 cash or surety bond. And you do have the obligation to appear here next Friday, February 13, 2024 at 1:30.
Okay,
And Mr. Lim, yes, Mr. Lemkool.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Judge.
No, I was finished at this point in time. I was going to excuse you and wish you a good day.
Okay, thank you. I was just, the problem with contacting the KBI, I tried contacting the KBI and the FBI, but somebody had my phone clearly like linked to their phone to where they were rerouting and call forwarding my calls. I tried several times, different times to get a hold of somebody to help me, and they wouldn't have my call. The call was kept going to call forwarding, and I never could get through to nobody.
Okay, well, if you make bonds, you need to be back at the Butler County Judicial Building Friday at 1:30 for first appearances, December 13. And if you don't make bond, the case will be brought back up from the jail just as you are today.
Okay, thank you, sir. Are these videos stored and saved?
These are Zoom records that are taken, and there is a means and method of archiving and then relocating at a subsequent time.
Okay, can I request that be done for my lawyer, please?
Well, I'm not going to order that at this time, because if there's a transcript that is ordered of a proceeding, there needs to be payment made at that time. And typically, if you have court-appointed counsel, there is an allowance that is typically made by the Board of Indigent Defense Services to pay for that type of necessary transcript. Otherwise, that is the protocol and procedure. So you need to make inquiry to counsel going forward as to that information. If there are no charges subsequently brought when you reappear at some later point in time, you can always make a request for transcript of this proceeding. However, you have to pay for that in advance, and it's based on an estimate. I don't know how much that would even be. So there be nothing further to come before the court. Court is in recess, and Mr. Lemkool, have a good day.